Hello everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is John. I'm a full-time eBay reseller based in Melbourne, Australia. Today, I'm going to tell you guys not to panic. Calm down. Check your language. And here's what I mean. Whenever we think of panic, whenever we think of calming down, a fire drill comes to mind. I like the fire drill example because it's something that all of us have had to do throughout our lives at some point. And we've done it in different places, from school to maybe hospital, to the workplace, to a community hall. Whenever a fire drill happens, it's random, and we just have to fall in line and go along with it. Some of us like to think about how we can do it better. But for the most part, we accept it and we just do it. That may not be the best way to do something, but understanding that it's the best way for everybody to do something together makes us accept it. So there's a bit of a, like a herd mentality. And by herd, I mean a herd of cattle of cows, herd of goat, animals being herded together. And we're quite tribal that way, aren't we? We follow what everyone else does. We mirror each other. And then we come to reselling. And reselling, there's a bit of a herd mentality there as well, because when you first start reselling, you're told to go get all the free resources you can. And that generally leads you to Facebook, Discord, Reddit, Quora, a bunch of, YouTube, Instagram. Not so much YouTube, Instagram, because that's more like someone talking to you and then you just read some comments. And you can't really participate, so to speak. But with the other platforms where you can actually comment, post, see responses, get sworn at, get told you're lazy, all those kind of platforms can be quite intimidating because you're not quite sure what the herd stands for. And that's true, and that's real. And so I thought this week I'm gonna tackle this whole panic situation, and I'm gonna say some things, and it may not resonate with you. It may rub you the wrong way. You guys might think I'm full of shit. Well, so be it, right? I will just go with the panic I've seen and how, if I had a go at, I wouldn't say fix, addressing it, what changes I would have made and what steps I would have taken to calm you down, to calm younger me down. So the best place to start is with the word scam. And I don't like the word scam. I don't like the word scam because a scam is something that is intentionally done through a bunch of premeditated steps to cause harm. That's how I view a scam. When I am flaky throughout my day and I promise my son a bunch of different things and I don't deliver, you wouldn't say I've scammed my son. You'll say I'm a lousy father. You'll say I'm inconsistent. You might say that I could do better. But you're never going to say I deliberately promised a bunch of things to scam my son, unless I actually intended to say all those things and not deliver. Right? So that's the difference. So when a new reseller comes to a Facebook group, a Quora, thread, and they see the word scam, it's so loosely used. Scam returns, scam buyers, scam feedback, scam account. It can lead to this increasing sense of caution that really shouldn't be there. Because on the one hand, you have we just established that we agree on the definition of a scam. Like, I gave you an example, and I'm gonna take a bet that you agreed that, yeah, you're not a scammy dad, you're just a lousy dad, if that's really what you've done. So, and actually, if eBay, if all the different discussion platforms talked about bad buyers with that distinction, yes, you'll get flaky buyers. Yes, you'll get flaky sellers. Yes, you'll get inconsistent buyers, inconsistent sellers, people who don't know what they're doing. And the word scam was actually and accurately reserved for those people who intentionally, through premeditated steps, intend to cause harm. I reckon most of us would calm down pretty quick. Because the fact is, not everyone tries to scam you. And sometimes, even though it can feel that way, the fact that you can interpret it as They probably don't know what they're doing. They probably don't understand eBay's processes. They probably, like think of those situations where someone could have solved it via a bunch of messages and they just went and opened the case without talking to you. Well, eBay lets them do that. Did they intentionally buy with the intention to then open a case upon item coming? No. Maybe. But the fact that both situations can hold water until proven otherwise tells you that you shouldn't lean towards the scam buyers. All right, so maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe I'm overly optimistic. Well, here's the thing. I like to compare my situation with that of businesses significantly bigger than me. And the reason for that is because I like data. If something is a commentary on buyer behavior as a whole, or even within certain categories, it needs to be able to be replicated in a bigger sample size, right? So, and the good thing about bigger sample sizes is that, and this is going to sound boring because sample size sounds like stats, but you get the point. If I need to find a general store, I just go look at, say, a Kmart, a Target, stores that sell through a bunch of different categories in high volumes. If I want a specific example, I'll go to, say, Foot Locker because, it's shoes, it's more niche down. I might go to Toys R Us. That's a bad example, but when I say Toys R Us, it's a toy shop. So the point being is, I find a bigger supplier and I go, surely they don't get the super high rate of scam returns. I cannot expand my situation to that number. Say if I get one bad buyer, and I assume it's a scam, I have two options. It could be just a dumb, incompetent buyer, but I go scam, and it's 1 out of 10. Is the 10% replicable at a big store? Chances are they don't have 10% either. You could find out. So maybe you Kmart won't talk to you, but talk to bigger resellers. Will they affirm your 10%? And that's where the discussion board can shift, right? A lot of people are not forthcoming with their numbers unless asked very specific questions, because general questions tend to come across like you don't know what you're doing. What sells best? What's a quick way to make profit? Those questions rub the bigger resellers the wrong way. When I see those questions, I'm just like, in what context? Qualify it for me so that I can actually help you. So likewise, if you feel like you've done 20 sales and you got 2 scams, you could ask the question, hey, I've done 20 sales so far and 2 of them went this way. I really would like to know from the bigger resellers who maybe do 100 sales a week, 200 sales a week, is 10% really true for my category? Now you've really qualified it. You've gone, I sell this category. Here are the numbers that I think represent the population as a whole. Bigger sellers, do you agree? And I can tell you, most of us bigger sellers will be like, nah, it's probably like 1 in every 100. You're a smaller seller. There's a good chance it could have been this or that. And at that point, please accept the wisdom of the elderly. The elderly. Meaning, when we say 1 in 100, 1 in 500, bearing in mind, incompetent buyers, scam buyers, those numbers vary across categories. If someone who sells your category starts saying like, hey, it's really 1 in every 500, here's how you could have changed the way you did what you did so that your number looks more like the 1 in 500 instead of 1 in 10, you need to listen. Instead of buying into the scam when you ask the general question. Because the fact is, actual scam buyers are not that common. They're not. I know just because it's possible doesn't mean they do it. I mean, the other example I thought of was like, just because you can break the law, how often do you do it? I mean, sure, there's so many ways you can break the law without getting caught. But how often do you actually do it though? I mean, I don't. Because there are so many other factors that tell us not to do it. There is your internal conscience. There's the chance you'll get caught by a friend. There's a chance that your kids are watching. There's a chance that you may hurt somebody even if you don't want to hurt somebody, So I think, and I'm not being overly optimistic here, have some faith in humanity. All right, around this word scam. Whenever you take to social media and want to figure out if you just happen to be a scam magnet, just remember, a scam is a intention to cause harm via a bunch of premeditated steps from start to finish. And if another explanation can explain what's happened to you, don't be so quick to label it a scam. Because when you label something a scam, it makes you angry. And here's the definition of anger, as opposed to frustration. And this has really helped me. When someone is angry, it's because they've intentionally been wronged. But when someone is frustrated, it's because they have been met with someone who just doesn't quite get it. Incompetence, lack of education, lack of understanding, a bit of a knucklehead. In the first situation, you feel this boiling up of, justice. Like someone's wronged me. I need this to be fixed. But when you feel frustrated, and here's the thing, when you feel those emotions, you need to label them, because labeling them, they can feel very similar. Labeling them helps you to decide what to do. In the angry situation towards a scam, towards an injustice, someone intentionally doing wrong to me, I need to either right the wrong or let it go. Forgiveness essentially is the thing, right? It's forgive and forget. Bigger person. Be the bigger person. But in the frustration lane, it's about education. It's about more information. The equivalent of forgiveness in the frustration lane is patience. So if you can somehow see your buyer through both lenses, and you're willing to give this lens a go, you'll be surprised how many buyers actually are not scamming you. You'll be surprised how a little bit of patience and a little bit of time spent educating the buyer on how to do things the preferred way, with kindness, not sass, not sarcasm, not I'm better than you, what the hell. Just kindly say, thank you for opening the case. Here's what normally happens. Here are the steps that we go through as a business to help rectify the situation. And let them respond. Most of them will actually come back and go, oh, I didn't know what to do. I wasn't sure what to ask for, and when I clicked on when I clicked on returns, eBay gave me a bunch of options, so I just followed the options, and thank you for replying me. That very much takes them out of this lane, puts them into this lane. And with a bit more patience, you'll find that you can either resolve their case. If you're patient with them, they will reciprocate with you for the most part, and then before you know it, they close the case on their own accord. You don't have to refund them because you've helped them to understand what's happened. So when you see the word scam, do yourself a favor. Don't just take it and paste it everywhere in social media. Actually understand what's happening. Ask for more information. And I think together, sounds like a public service announcement. It is. Together, we can change this culture around scams. Because really, in reselling, it doesn't happen as often as you guys think. Until next video. Take care. Bye.